The subconscious, it doesn't discern the message. If I say your shirt is not a great color, the subconscious just automatically goes, oh, Demetrius, said my shirt's not the right color. But if I go, hey, that shirt's amazing, it doesn't discern. It just takes the information. So we have to train that positive thinking. And we think we have no power with that, when actually you can pick and choose what messages you give yourself. Mm-hmm. And after a while, if you kind of start to train your subconscious on a new way of thinking, it becomes more positive. A lot of people don't like to hear that. They like to hang on to the negative, but we do have a choice in how you want to roll day to day. That's a fact.
Welcome. This show empowers you to confront and overcome addiction with real stories, inspiration, and a host of resources. Our growing community supports, uplifts, and takes action to enable a new way of living. Now, F3 Recovery brings you the Super Sober Podcast. Welcome to Super Sober Podcast number 39. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all the feedback. We're going to be doing our sobriety and the new year. Happy New Year into 2026. I want to let you know my name is Brett C. I'm the host. My sobriety date is 4/21/03. I'm an RN with a BSN. Been helping people out with this crazy disease addiction for many years now. We'll go to our left.
My name's Mike G. Good to be here. Happy New Year. Sobriety date, October 16, 2022. Working with people with disabilities to find independence for on and off the clock for about 15 years.
Hello, guys. Demetrius F. Sobriety date's 11/24/95. Currently, I mortgage broker at Al Lending, making homes more affordable. Good to see you guys. Happy holidays.
Yeah, we've been just...
And I'm Solomon Daniel, so you guys want me to jump in anytime, so I'm just going.
That's right.
Yeah, that's Solomon. Don't forget about Solomon here at the podcast place. We're here in Long Beach, California. But first, we're going to do some sobriety milestone shout outs like we do at the beginning of every podcast. If you're not aware, up to this point, we're going to be doing Rod with 5 years, Danny A with 7 years, Ryan C with 10 years, and Carl P with 45 years. Yes. Woohoo! Ba-bam! Air horn it out. Let's go. So today we're going to be talking about something that hits a lot of us in recovery, staying sober as we step into a brand new year. Here we are on third year of Super Sober Podcast, and we're going to feather in this one right here. So we're going into 2026 with a lot of momentum, maybe not a lot of momentum. Maybe you just got sober. We were just at a club down the street with at least 20 people taking sobriety chips in December. Shout out and salute to all of you who are taking, their 1 day, minus days, whatever, 30, 60, 90s, whatever milestone. We salute you at SSP for sure. There's so much pressure around the new year, pressure to reinvent yourself, pressure to make resolutions, pressure to pretend everything resets at midnight. But the truth is, sobriety doesn't start over in January 1st. You don't need a new you. You just need the real you, the one who's already doing the work. Remember what Jessica M. said on podcast 30 and 31. It's not about becoming more. It's about becoming less of what no longer serves you. So today we're going to slow things down. We're going to talk about how to stay grounded, how to stay connected, and how to walk into the new year with clarity, pride, and momentum. If you're feeling anxious, tempted, or overwhelmed, this episode's for you. Let's keep on keeping on. We're going to be jumping into about 3 different videos that we're going to be going over. We're going to be doing a meditation minute. We're going to be hitting hard here on how we can keep the momentum, how we can stay focused through the year, and all of our insights, as you well know, going through it. We're going to be doing a first one right here with Anthony Hopkins. This is his 45 years of celebration. He now is working on 51, but this rings true all the way through. Let's go to that first video. Thank you, Solomon.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Well, New Year is coming. It's been a tough year, full of grief and sadness for many, many, many people. But 45 years ago today, I had a wake-up call. I was heading for disaster, drinking myself to death. I'm not preachy, but I got a message, a little thought that said, do you want to live or die? And I said, I want to live. And suddenly the relief came, and my life has been amazing. And I have my off days and sometimes little bits of doubt and all that. But all in all, I say hang in there. Today is the tomorrow you were so worried about yesterday. you young people, don't give up. Just keep in there. Just keep fighting. Be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid. And that sustained me through my life. And that's all I've got to say. A Happy New Year. This is going to be the best year. Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony H. He came out of the shadows a long time ago and broke his anonymity to help a lot of people stay sober. So shout out to you and all the momentum of what we're going through. What hit me on that one was the fight process. For me, I've been helping people out. We all been helping people out a lot. And sometimes I look over at the people that don't have any fight left in them, it seems. And I work on motivating. We do a podcast where if you're finding yourself and you don't have any more fight in you, and then you go back out and start using and you don't even have any fight there anymore, we're here to help. Reach out. However it is, there's a bunch of us still fighting. I know that. We just came from a rad meeting. The whole place was packed. People are fighting. People haven't given up. And we see Anthony Hopkins here working on your 51. And there's a lot of momentum out there, guys. You find yourself not wanting to fight for it in your disease because you know you need to be sober. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's something else really driving you inside, and then you get sober and you haven't done it. We heard one lady talk about, right? She was like 11 years, but she hadn't worked the 12 steps or anything, found herself circled back to her old self. Lo and behold. So we're always shouting out, working the steps and coming into the new year. And the new year, definitely, a lot of us felt like we were supposed to be magically transformed at midnight. That's not what's happening. So, but the truth is sobriety doesn't care about the calendar. I know it's super important, our time, our recovery times, but it's about making the days count. So that's where I started. When that one hit me, it's not about counting the days, and start making the days count. Here we are in January. Let's go. Let's start making them count. So what do you guys think on this one?
It was pretty good. I like Anthony Hopkins a lot. I saw him like one time in a meeting in LA, and I look at that and just think of alignment, right? You were talking about, Brett, about how some don't want to keep going, and I too am not going to be preachy, but it's about kind of like that spiritual deal, right? I believe that whether in your recovery or not in recovery, there is an alignment with the universe and some power there. And when you're disconnected from that power, I think there's some problems there. And in recovery, we're fortunate enough to go through the 12 steps to get aligned to that power. I personally believe that without an access to that power, life it becomes solo, right? You're running on self a lot. You are kind of disconnected on the kind of what they say, the rhythm of the universe. And like when he said the young people act boldly and forces come to your aid, and that force he's talking about is that, without again being preachy, is that spiritual part, that connection to your higher self or God or however you want to put it. I mean, for me, it's a God concept, of course. I've been sober a while, and I can say without that sense of access to that power, you kind of just running around aimlessly without a purpose. And it's been proven to me that there is an underlying force for good and a rhythm that makes things bearable for me to relate with you and me to relate with others. And alcohol and the 12 steps have allowed me to do that. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's rad. You said the tiny voice came to him.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe we were having, they call that the moment of clarity. Maybe you're at that point and you hear it. I remember James S. on one of the other podcasts, a voice came to him loud and clear. It wasn't soft. He said, fight for your shitty life. Mm-hmm. And he did. And he's doing real well. Shout out to James and all that contingent of all those brothers and sisters. So what do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, during the video, it's obviously lovely to hear Anthony H. Voice, right? It kind of cuts through all the madness. But I was actually thinking of this scene in Rocky 2, when, I don't know, Rocky's just like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. There is no tomorrow.
He's like, there is no tomorrow. And then that starts echoing, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. And I think coming in broken and beaten and battered from my own will, the reality is like, when it comes to the new year and celebrating and getting excited, I'm here to eat today. There is no tomorrow. I'm not even sure what's up ahead. I'm not sure what's up on the horizon, but I know I'm going to leave it on the court. I'm going to give everything I have and a whole lot of what I don't have to try and, live purposely. Live with purpose. How about? Purposeful. That's close to porpoise. The reality is like, hey,
we got a dolphin.
What's the alternative? What's your alternative? As you're, for decades, I'm fighting, what seems to be God's will for me. Landing in institution after institution with these stupid AA people coming in, talking to me about the dumb 12 steps. And I'm fighting it the whole way until I had ceased fighting, right? And you want to talk about fighting, I think like at some point, ceasing fighting is the way you fight, right? Because people are trying to support you. You're getting opportunities to try and change the trajectory of your life. And you're thinking, well, got to be a better way. And until you got no thought left and you kind of dumb it down and be like, maybe, just maybe something out there or someone out there is trying to steer me to a better way of life. And all I have to say from this point forward is okay. I'll do it. And there's a freedom that comes along with that, not relying on my own thinking and, running it by people who are proving to be more successful at navigating through this thing called life. I mean, there's no shame in not knowing how to do relationships. There's no shame in not knowing how to be, 100% successful in life. Some of the most successful people out there accepted a lot of help, whether they were alcoholic or not. I mean, if you're the CEO of Apple, you might be saying, what do you think? Right? Well, hey, you're a billionaire. Why would I ask you, right? Well, he got there by asking for a lot of help.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think Solomon missed the cue to feather in that Rocky song right there.
Well,
he was singing it in his mind.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned my name, I guess I'll jump in here too. That I think the three most important words that you can hear from anybody is don't give up. And that's right. Every time I hear that, that's when I feel energized. When someone else just says those three words, it's like, just don't give up. It just gives you that incentive to just keep going. I mean, we all have these hard things that we try to accomplish and things we get frustrated with. And that's what motivates me when somebody just says, you know what, just keep going. Don't give up. And I like that from what he said.
Yeah, that's for sure. When I got my patients and they're working with physical therapy, when their body decompensates and doesn't have time to recompensate to the physicality of their life without the drugs and alcohol in it, people aren't aware of this. They can't walk. They can't move. They can't function like they used to. Their bodies are so used to the drugs and alcohol in it. When we pull it out, they're like become a heaping massless blob. But when they're working with physical therapy, sometimes it's a super shameful area to be in detox and rehabilitating from this disease because they don't have the motor movement anymore. So we have to work with them with physical therapy, have them walk all over with a gait belt and a front wheel walker. And these people are used to high functioning jobs, driving around with that much alcohol in them. And when they're walking up and down the hallway, they feel bad, but then I throw on either Eye of the Tiger or the Rocky song. And then they get pumped up, and so dun, 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 then everybody's and they just smile because you can't put on one of those, either the first one or two Rockies or the Eye of the Tiger and then not get kind of pumped up.
That's true.
Right.
That's for sure. When it comes into a fight, put that on. If you're feeling a little bit down, music is always a way to adjust the upload of your mood. And if you don't have that and you don't have so many different coping skills, which we haven't really talked too much about on music, but it's very important. One of the old co-hosts, Jared, in the beginning of this podcast, he does an unbelievable group, and we talked about it too with Dr. Alan Resch about the whole nervous system and how music helps with the groups and to get people, it evokes emotions. Everybody's got their songs and how to do things with how they work with it. So definitely that one's super fun. Everybody comes out, the doctor comes out, some people seeing it, and then they're super shameful. It's hard. The people don't understand that about people coming off of alcohol, how much their body, they call it decompensation. And it takes time. Sometimes they can't walk and function well enough for a couple of weeks. Yeah. They've been drinking for so long, and then the body takes time to recompensate for the amount of alcohol that normal people wouldn't even be able to walk. You know, when it comes over 400 on the alcohol, it says comatose. On the levels when they check the blood alcohol. It's pretty gnarly. And we're walking around normally like that. That's our normal blood. Weekend. Yeah, it's a good weekend. Yeah. Thanks for jumping in on that, Solomon. We're telling you, don't give up. Anthony Hopkins said, let's fight. This is 2026. 2025 was gnarly, guys, I'd have to admit, but a lot of us stuck with it. We kept moving forward, and we're going to keep moving forward. That's for sure. So the next one coming up into topic 2 are the tools for staying sober through the new year. And this one has a lot to go over. So I've seen this video like 4 times. I was doing the show notes, and this one came through, and it has so much relative information for everybody. So go ahead and listen. I would suggest maybe listen to this one 2 or 3 times. So much of the self-help industry, it's easy to just go to the right or to the left and be able to apply the 12 steps in a metaphoric value or an actual practical application value in any kind of self-help manner. So let's go to that second one, Solomon. Thank you.
This isn't a motivational video, this is an intervention. In just a few days, you're going to be tempted to perform a ritual of writing down a list of ambitious goals, feeling a surge of hope, and telling yourself, this is the year, new me. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Do not start 2026 until you understand why that ritual is a trap designed to keep you stuck in the exact same loop you were in last year. Chapter 1, the illusion of the fresh start. Here's the hard truth the self-help industry won't tell you. January 1st is just another Tuesday. The person who wakes up in your bed on New Year's Day is the exact same person who went to sleep the night before, with the same habits, the same doubts, and the same subconscious patterns. For the last few days of this year, I want you to forget your goals and instead conduct a simple identity audit. Ask yourself one question. Who do I need to be to achieve the things I want? Notice the shift. The goal isn't to lose 20 pounds. The goal is to become the kind of person who is healthy and active. What does that person do? They don't just go on a diet. They move their body every day. They prioritize sleep. They see food as fuel. The goal isn't to write a book. The goal is to become a writer. And what do writers do? They write, even when it's garbage, even for just 10 minutes. They show up. Stop chasing the noun, the success, the book, the body, and start practicing the verb, the writing, the training, the showing up. This is how you build a new identity from the ground up. Your brain is not your friend in this process. It's a stubborn, skeptical judge that believes one thing and one thing only, hard evidence. Right now, it has years of evidence that you are who you currently are. To change its mind, you have to build a new case piece by piece. You do this by collecting micro-evidence. These are actions so small, so laughably easy that you cannot fail. To become a reader, don't try to read 50 books. Just read 1 page tonight. That's your evidence. To become a calm person, don't try to meditate for an hour. Just sit in silence and breathe for 60 seconds. That's your evidence. Each tiny action is a receipt you hand to your brain that says, see, this is who I am now. You're not faking it. You are building it, one piece of undeniable proof at a time. So here's why you can't start 2026 yet. You're about to try and build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. You're focusing on the paint color before you've even poured the concrete. The last few days of this year are your only chance to do the real work. Forget the resolutions, audit your identity, and start collecting tiny pieces of evidence. Lay 1 brick perfectly today, then another tomorrow. Don't just start a new year. Start a new identity. That's the only fresh start that's real. If you're done with the cycle, subscribe and join us. We're building things that last. See you on the other side.
Yeah, chew on all that for the whole new year for sure. My new identity, what I've proven to my subconscious, who I am, how I'm staying committed, cash committed, committed to the new process, keep pushing myself, contract, another year of podcasts. Am I a podcast host or whatever the process is? My brain still tells me that I'm not, but I got so much evidence, so much proof all around me, chips on the wall, degrees on the wall of who I am and my new identity check. That was a super good one for a correlative process on the 12 steps. We're doing a 10 step. That's a spot check inventory. Where are my feet? Who am I? What am I doing? What's my purpose throughout the day? We have this unbelievable coping skills going through how I'm going to be for 2026. And I'm working on changing, still doing it. And it's a lot in that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have. And just listening to this podcast, we're also going to shout out, like, if you like the podcast and like what we're doing, people always say, oh, I like what you had to share. Well, smash the flipping like button, subscribe, because we were talking about last time, I don't think even Mike was subscribed as as someone on the YouTube, right? And it's like a lot of people don't know how to do it. So like for me personally, I meet somebody and I say, hey, we do a podcast. But my challenge to 2026 for the people that are friends and family of SSP or recovery, I challenge you to at least tell one person about the podcast. I think what we do here is a good service to the recovery community. And there's lots of people doing great stuff out there. Mm-hmm. But that we're talking about us right now, right here, is share with my challenge to the listening community, share one, like and subscribe with one friend, and we'll be taking off. So what do you guys think on this one?
Well, yeah, it's funny because at first glance of the video, what I heard was like, are you thinking of changing your life this year? Because guess what? Fuck it. You're going to be the same old you that Tuesday, and there ain't shit you can do about it. That's how I heard it at first. And then, you come to like hear it differently, right? And I could really relate to it. And, when you talk about like becoming a new you or a new year or new anything, what I've kind of found out is I think there's a book written called A Purpose-Driven Life. Yep. And the first question that it asks is like, if you want to know why you were invented, you go to the inventor, you ask the inventor, you don't. And I could really relate to that. I thought I was a mistake and that, I had no real value. And what I've learned through the process of the program and through self-discovery and being honest with other people and them being honest with us is I think I heard someone say, oh, guess what? At the end of the 12 steps, you're going to get a great surprise. And it was like, what is it? What is it? You're going to find out who the hell you really are. Mm-hmm. You're going to find out what the heck good, bad, and indifferent. And
no,
I think I always thought that like I had convinced myself that I was evil and bad and no good. And through being helpful to other people and looking forward to a new year of serving more people. I mean, I have that inside of me. I want to help more people. I mean, that's like a big deal to me, right? And I think what you find inside is like a really nice thing. I think Demetrius says often it took him 2 divorces to find out how amazing he really is.
Yeah,
I can relate to that. Mm-hmm. All I'm finding is that I'm very compassionate. Right. I have a lot of empathy for people that are hurting. All that forging out there, making poor choices and making bad decisions has placed me in a position where I don't even judge those people that are making poor choices. I'm just like, oh man, what a bummer. That's a crappy way to live, right? And I'm hoping they have their come to Jesus meeting with their own creator or whatever it is. And so I really like the video. I like the accumulation of like mini wins over a period of time. Yes. I don't know if you've ever been on the pier and you start off on pier 3 and then you swim out and you have a little fun. You come back in and you're like, is that pier 7?
Yeah. You drifted all that way.
Had the tide just drifted me without my effort, just enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very recovery oriented, that I didn't, set out to completely do some of the things that I've been able to do in sobriety. They just happened organically because I placed myself in a position where I had turned my will and my life over to the care of something that I didn't always understand. And I spent decades saying, no, thank you, I'll do my will. And the result was pretty bad. So I like this new way. And I think you will too if you join us. And, the reality is that it's available to anyone. That's the best part about it. It's available to anybody. And if you are surrendered or what the book refers to as seemingly hopeless, that's a really good place to start.
Thanks so much. Starting that new identity. I was, when he said that new identity, I was like, man, before you can even get to that place, you got to find out, kind of like why I can't even start, right? How come I can't even get out of bed? And man, either the inventory is good with that, right? The fourth and fifth step, right? Why is my self-esteem so low? Why do I have these bad vibes about myself? Why? I mean, just looking at that, and it's good that video was really good because it's actually you could go on with that forever because it's a 2-part, right? It's for you guys new in sobriety, before you can get to that part, you got to find out what's the matter with me? Why is it not working, right? And you do that through the inventory. You find out, okay, I got these resentments, I got these fears, right? Then you do the 9th step, you kind of clean some stuff up, and then you start to figure out, oh man, I don't have self-esteem because of this, or I'm resentful at this, and that creates the new identity. You know what I mean? For me, I couldn't even get to that. I couldn't even get to that. That's why I kept looking at it. I was like, man, because if I could do that, then I wouldn't need sobriety. I wouldn't need help. I wouldn't need therapy. And I've did all those things in sobriety. And before you can get to all of that, you got to kind of find out what's the matter with me? You guys were talking about it earlier. Like, why is it that I can't get out of bed? Like, how come I can't, get up and not eat a lot or do whatever I'm supposed to do? And it's because I got all this clogged up crap inside of me. And again, I can't access the power or the positivity to get on this road. You know what I mean? Because I'm so full of negativity and self-doubt. And the 12 steps allow you to kind of clean that up and get on the bike and go this way, with the help of others, And then there's a whole nother part after that, right? A whole nother involvement of you can just keep on going with that, with different books and different self-help groups and stuff and videos, and it's limitless, that part right there,
For sure.
A new identity. And it's scary when it gets there, right? Because you don't know yourself. I'm in 57 years old, I'm 30 years sobriety, I'm there now, finding out who I am, what makes Demetrius tick, what does he like, you know what I mean? Kind of the old messages of growing up are don't exist. And I'm finding out that everything that I grew up with is completely wrong. That's what I mean, to be honest with you, I'm like, man, all this was wrong. It was all wrong. Theology, ideals, systems. I mean, everything that I perceived, it's all turned in its axle and I have to learn everything new, right?
And you're open enough to do it.
There you go. And it's the opening, right? It's just the awareness. And one thing I was telling my friend that I'm really grateful for is in recovery, it allows us to be aware. Just think if you weren't aware, oh my God, like I'm just running around. I have no awareness. I'm thinking I know everything and I'm not open to any new concepts. That's painful. I mean, that's one thing sobriety is a gift, is awareness. It's just priceless. It's up there with sobriety. You know what I mean? I'm able to be aware. Oh my God, just priceless.
And be able to shift.
Yes, exactly.
No matter where you are.
There you go, Brett. I could go on this forever. It's priceless. Because before sobriety, you had a closed mind. Yep. So you're just not listening to anybody. And now, I mean, August will tell me stuff and I just get everything from everybody. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful.
I love that. I love learning from the young kids. Mm-hmm. And when Anthony Hopkins was talking about it, and wherever you are, writers write. Musicians practice. Yeah. Well, even on your shitty day, you just still write. Start with the page. Mm-hmm. We put the meditation minute at the end of this podcast. We're starting with a minute. Mm-hmm. We're starting, your first minute of sobriety. The first year is going to be messy. I'm working on year 23. It's messy, guys.
Yes.
So what? We're still doing it.
Yes,
We still the perseverance and the fight that Anthony was talking about. What we're doing, you're listening to this podcast, you're fighting. We're feeding your subconscious the proof, because the mind's a harsh judge, it said. It's what is your subconscious in your brain have any proof of you're anything different than what you already are acted upon wherever you're, how many years traveling around the sun? What's the overall in the steps? We're going to ask you to write that down.
Yeah.
What is your causes and conditions? Where were you at? What were you doing? What do you want to be? Like all these hard questions you've been avoiding for a lot of people. And then maybe you haven't been avoiding. Maybe you have a certain amount of success. We have them all, come one, come all, from park bench to park place, Anthony Brown. Yep. Anthony B. Yeah, thanks, Solomon, off the background there. I appreciate it. Yeah, who wrote that book? I mean, did I have a nurse within inside of me? It's hard for me to, even to this day, after 20 years of being a nurse, that I'm a flipping nurse. This is what the program has done, and I'm not the only one. What has the program built with you? What have you allowed to happen? What has that higher power done? The breadcrumbs. What I was going to start, if I would have known to where I was going to be now, I probably wouldn't have started.
That's a fact.
In a sense.
That's a fact.
Because I wouldn't have been able to see it. And you can't see what you can't see.
And you were talking about, like, just real quick, the subconscious, right? And I want to share with the new people, the subconscious, it doesn't discern the message.
Right.
So if I say, hey, Mike, your shirt is not, a great color, the subconscious just automatically goes, oh, Demetrius said my shirt's not the right color. You go in the mirror and subconsciously you'll look in there and be like, oh, but if I go, hey, that shirt's amazing, it doesn't discern. It just takes the information, like you said, Brett, and so we have to train that positive thinking into that subconscious to start to get a new kind of deal, so to speak, like you said. I love
it's the objective observer.
Yes, exactly.
It's not subjective.
Exactly.
It just
I love when you talk
we,
about that.
We attach the meaning to whatever it is.
And we think we have no power with that, when actually you can pick and choose what messages you give yourself. And after a while, if you kind of start to train your subconscious on a new way of thinking, it becomes more positive. A lot of people don't like to hear that. They like to hang on to the negative, but we do have a choice in how you want to roll day to day. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Even though it may be hard, Absolutely. Now, we're not wired for success. We're wired for survival. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Put me on the streets and see if who's going to survive.
Yeah.
Me or you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be me.
But give me some peace and serenity. And I'm like, nah, I don't want that. Right.
Yeah, we're talking about it. That's why turning the fight, flight, and freeze into free form and flowing. And if you don't know the F3 recovery behind the Super Sober podcast, and it goes deeper than just superficial.
Yes.
But we always know keeping things really simple. The KISS of recovery, keep it simple, stupid. But it's also very deep, and it's encompassing. And I think Mike wanted to say something else. Did you?
No, I was thinking of how delusional I was. At some point, I remember having a mentor, and he was like, sat down on a curb, and he was like, look at all these cars going by. Where are they going? It's hundreds of cars all day and night, going to their little wooden boxes and eating dinner. I mean, how come you can't do that, Mike?
They're all smarter than you.
And he was, I was like, I don't know. And he was like, some of them, I remember him saying this, and this caught my attention more than anything. He said, some of them, believe it or not, are dumb as a box of rocks.
Yeah.
And they've got great lives. They've got great lives. What do they have that you don't?
That's hilarious.
And I was like, I don't know.
What a great mentor to ask such questions.
I mean, and he's like, that's available to you too. You've been haunted by illness. You weren't a bad person trying to be good. You weren't a dumb person trying to be smart. You are a sick person. And once you get treatment and you start treating your ism, you fully qualify for a life just like them. Now, some of those people in those little metal boxes driving through, some of them are really unhappy, right? So it's not even about like externally getting your ducks in a row to see if you're happy. No, you find the happiness within, and then and then you're eligible to live life and enjoy it, right? Whatever it is. And today I got a fairly enjoyable life, as a result of like, I think, believing in something other than the philosophy that I'd sold myself early on, right? I don't know at what age I sold myself on that,
Right.
but I for sure bought in, right? And was like, all right, this is what I was meant to do. You're meant to be behind a dumpster, really? I mean, who sold you that?
Right.
Bullshit, right? Even though you think nobody on the planet deserves that except you, I mean, that's quite an ego, right?
Ego.
I mean, think about the arrogance of thinking, no, I'm supposed to be behind the dumpster. I mean, it's preposterous. And I'm glad I don't believe the lie. And, there is a lot of truth out there. And I keep getting all these truth bombs. You'll hear people say, oh, my head popped out of my ass at 5 years. I heard a guy say that the other day. And then I was thinking, man, your head should be popping out like regularly.
Woo.
I mean, if you're really like
Tuned in
to a spiritual way of living, you're realizing the error of your ways as you go along. And at least that's been my experience.
Yeah. Chew on all that, guys.
That's awesome.
But we're at the middle of the podcast kind of zone, and that's when we go to our proud sponsor of the Super Sober podcast. If anybody needs any help, any insurance or anything, I'm sporting the merch right here, the His House new creation. We're going to call this number at 877-345-4138. And that number again is 877-345-4138. And we're going to be going to the commercial. We'll be right back.
At Embrace Life Change, your journey to mental wellness begins in a place where understanding meets action, where care is personalized and recovery is achievable. With over 30 years of experience, our expert team offers a range of evidence-based treatments tailored to each individual's needs. From anxiety and depression to complex psychiatric disorders, our comprehensive approach includes cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness practices, and innovative programs designed for deep healing. Our small treatment groups ensure personalized care, fostering stronger connections, and a supportive community that empowers your recovery journey. Hear from those who've embraced change and found hope, healing, and a path to a better life with us. Embrace Light Change is more than a treatment center. It is a place where lasting change begins. If you or someone you love is seeking help, call us first. Let's take that first step together towards a brighter future. Embrace Light Change, nurturing mental health, where hope and healing meet.
All right. Thanks for going into a little bit of help and health where healing meets. We're going to be going into the third and fourth quarter of SSP. We're going to be going into our third video right here. And wherever positivity it is, I would always suggest, and so does the program, get it where you can get it. I mean, we know AA does not, or the 12 steps, any of it doesn't own the monopoly on self-help and recovery. I know all of us have different mentors outside of the program, and I hope you guys too. This is a really good one. Tony Robbins is going to be the next video, and it's going to be going over reframing the new year and all the people that can, and the process that you become when you're doing this journey. Go ahead, Solomon.
Why do you have goals? Is it to get the goals? You get the goal. How many have gotten a goal and after you achieved it, you went, is this all there is? Who's ever had this experience? Make some noise. That's worse than failing, isn't it? Because most of you, if you fail, you're driven, right? You'll dust yourself up, get up, and go for it again. You're going to get there. But if you succeed and you're unhappy, you're basically what I call technically screwed. Think of something you achieved. You're really proud of yourself. It was a great achievement for you, whatever it was. Could have been little or big. How long did that great feeling last? 5 years? A year? 6 months? 6 weeks? 6 days? 6 hours? How many of you, the answer was somewhere between 6 hours and 6 weeks max? Let me see a show of hands, raise your hand. So I want you to understand something. The purpose of life is not to get your goals. The purpose of life is who you become to achieve your goals.
Yeah, I love that video right there. Tony Robbins and so many people like him just going out there and pumping out the positivity and getting the miracles. Remember what Mike said on a podcast a few ago is addiction is the immediate payoff of what we get. And then sobriety is the paycheck that comes later, right? And I love all this stuff. You don't need the new you need a supported you. All the benefits of staying sober and the person you've become, the people you have met, the person you have become obtaining these goals, don't make your miracles the mundane. How many people I've heard over the years accomplish this unbelievable gift of sobriety for a period of time, then circle back and tell me, well, I've gotten everything out of recovery that I feel that I can get, Brett. What am I going to do? And, you know, that's a crazy kind of question. It's what Tony Robbins was going over. That's why I really came across the video, and I really appreciated what he had to say. The people that I've met, the people that God has been able to put in front of me to help, to be the answer of those prayers, to be a place of reason. And when people call me, or being a sponsor or a sponsee of other people, I mean, I would have missed all that. And that wasn't goal-oriented. That was just me living a life of sobriety. So, I mean, I've hit all my long-term goals, short-term goals. I'm journey-oriented. And it was really helpful for me to have the goals earlier to keep me going, right? We have these 30, 60, 90, 6 months, 18 months, 1 year. But after a while, we ain't going to be celebrating your days like it used to be in early recovery, right? So it's a super cool video. All of this stuff is all on YouTube and easily, readily available. And what kind of proof are you giving to your subconscious, to your brain, that you're taking some new actions today of your new identity? So it's enough out of me for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of what he was speaking to. You know, I think I've said it even on the podcast before. You know, it's not accomplishing a goal that's half as important as the person you have to become in order to achieve it, right? So for me personally, I didn't know that there was a present on the inside, you know, that there was actually a good human being that would love the company of other good human beings and would be of service and just no idea. I mean, you don't know until you know, right? And the reality is, you know, the big reward that you're going to find when you let go of the old you. You know, you hear people say, what I would say to my younger self, I don't know that I would tell him anything anymore. You know, I wouldn't want him to avoid the certain trials and low spots that have become so useful to helping other human beings now. Like I could have avoided all that. And then what? I mean, would I be the human that I am today? Had I not had that humility? Had I not been to the darkness? Would I not be trying to pull people into the light? I mean, I think I'll quote Pink. I wouldn't trade the pain for what I've learned. I wouldn't trade the pain for what I've learned. I'm learning to be brave in my beautiful mistakes, right? And embrace a very human approach to people that are obviously struggling and suffering, and they don't need someone that comes up and says, "Hey, I'm pure as snow now. I don't know what you're doing there, buddy." No, I've made the mistakes that you're making, and this is what I did to get out of them, and I like that kind of approach. Not holier than thou, right? Right along with them. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I hope I don't get canceled right now. I mean, you know, this sobriety thing, I don't even look at it as a goal. It's like my lifeline. I mean, if I get drunk, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just look at it completely different. And, you know, I love Tony Robbins and everything, and I'm in sales, right? So when I'm listening to him doing his sales pitch to millions of people, literally, I was thinking $29.95 times 5,000 people. You know, I'm like, in the beginning, my goals were, you know, I mean, me and Mike talk about it all the time, but when I first got sober, I thought it was going to be like a Jay-Z video, right? Like, I'm on a boat, there's lots of hotties, I got all these dollars, and I'm balling. And then, you know, my goals get redirected, and my priorities get redirected, and the answer is no, and the whole thing's different. And today I have goals that I want to do, right? But they've been put into right size, as Mike's talking about. You know, they're not as grandiose as they were. Not that I don't want to be rich and successful, but I kind of have a purpose that I want to do. And goals are good, right? You turn your problems into goals too, right? You know, it's a book I'm reading right now. It says, make a lot of problems. They can become your goals, you know? And once you get your goals, you check them off, and then a new set come. And there's some things I'm trying to do now, but they're redirected. You know what I mean? But man, drinking, they were always high-flighted, you know what I mean, delusional dream goals with no application, no work, no nothing. And I've been successful in sobriety a couple of times, and you know,
monetarily.
Oh my God. And I was thought that I did a transaction was going to be a millionaire. None of that happened. I was like, that's not really, I'm not happy about that. And then you have to start over, right? A new business and do it again and go a different route and start again. But I've been hitting pretty good in sobriety. Everything that I've wanted to attain, I've reached. And that's a direct result of being sober. If I was drinking, it would have never happened. And I have a list literally on my phone, and it has the wins. And I recommend anyone, if you're new or if you're not new, I catalog the wins from when I got sober all the way to the present. And it's just these little wins that I've done all along my life. And I've always recorded them, whether it's pay off a car, whether it's, you know, married, had August, travel. And I just make that whole list so I can reaffirm myself that, oh yeah, D, you've been doing, you know, like the 10th step, right? You know, it's not all negative. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've been doing that a while. So I don't know. He's just, you know, I like Tony Robbins. It was good.
Yeah, I love the wins. Stick with the wins.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, we're winning.
Holy crap, dude. You know, we focus on the negative, but you should catalog the wins, right? Like, you know, I put gas in the car. I pay my car off. You know, I got a bonus. Like, I always, every time I get a commission, I always treat myself. Ice cream, shoes, or whatever. You gotta give yourself.
That a boy.
Yeah, you know, if you don't do it, no one's gonna. Because we all don't care. So you got to give yourself your own pat on the back, so to speak, a breakfast, a dinner. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's very important. Very important.
I love all those tidbits. Thanks, guys. That's for sure. We're going to do a pause real quick. We're going to take a little win, a little subconscious hit, another little brick in the wall of your new identity. We're going to do a couple minutes with David Trotter over at Behind the Lids, and a new journey from within on a meditation moment. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is David with Behind the Lids, and I want to invite you to experience a moment of meditation and breath. We're going to do this by visualizing a peaceful place in our mind and utilizing a technique of circular breathing, where we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth in a circular pattern without stopping at the top or bottom. Breathing in peace, exhaling stress, anxiety, resentments, and worries. If you'd like to go ahead and close your eyes, envisioning that place of peace in your life, perhaps it's a beautiful beach or mountaintop, or maybe somewhere where you go in your home where you feel peaceful. Envision that place right now and begin to breathe in through your nose, breathing in that peace. Exhaling, breathing in. Exhaling stress and anxieties and worries and resentments. Breathing in peace. Exhaling. Keeping that visual in your mind eye of the peaceful place. Breathing in that peace. Exhaling those resentments, stresses, and frustrations. One last breath in and exhale. And slowly open your eyes. You feel that peace? This is something that you can experience anytime, anywhere by closing your eyes and breathing in that peace and exhaling anything that no longer serves you.
What no longer serves you. What's serving you in your life? Can you take a minute? I challenge you guys. SSP is always going to be challenging you to take action. Slow down. Do the 10 step, set a timer, and just slow everything down. Do some deep breaths. Whatever it is, this year, we're going to challenge you to take at least a minute, a good minute. Can you do a minute and stop? I know you're doing a minute on some doom scrolling at work. We all do that a little bit, maybe, huh? A little bit on the company time, but why don't you take a little bit on your own time, on that company time, and do something a little bit of time for yourself and see if that helps out. I know people that set the 10-step timer or a meditation minute. Set it on your phone. Start using your technology. Another thing I would like to say going into 2026 is you're worth every bit of your own effort. My wife likes to say that. You're worth it, right? The end of the spiritual awakening is what Dee and Mike were talking about. We're talking about the journey orient, is that you will not have changed one thing, because if you would have changed one thing, you would have never gotten to your spiritual awakening. And all of those lessons and that part gives you this liberation. I like to say I've never been more willing to live and die than I am right now. And I've been saying that for years. And I had the spiritual awakening a long time ago. And if I would have changed one step to the left or right, one decimal point over here, I wouldn't have gotten to where I was. And here I am. And I challenge you guys to slow it down for a minute. That minute will turn into two. This morning, it was an hour and 20 minutes for me, and a guided meditation that I've been working on, and it starts from there. I'm saying that you need to do all that. Who knows where your journey is going to be taking you? But a lot of the time for me is that place of peace for me. If you're going to want to be working out, my goal last year was to get into the gym, get a little bit more healthy. You know, if the zombie apocalypse comes, I got my bug out pack and I can't make it more to the street corner, then what is it worth? So, I mean, whatever excuse it is, so I was running miles. And then I ran myself into an injury. I should have taken, you know, I'm in my mid-50s now. So a lesson learned, I'm healing on that one. But I know it was just like that second video. It was get to the gym. That's the hardest part about the gym, is getting there. And then actually pushing yourself right after 10 minutes. Then because it's pushing, don't do this. But about like after 10 or 15 minutes, what does it say in your head? Oh, I'm so glad we came. Yeah, I told you we should have been here. And I'm like, wait, this is the same head that was telling me not to get here, not to be here. So I challenge you for a minute, start doing it. You want to write? I tell people inside of so many of these stories that we have, right? In recovery, unbelievable. You'll have people say, oh man, you should write a book, or you should do a podcast, or you should do more speaker meetings, or you should get out there and do things. They're all, well, I don't know how to write. How you write is you start writing a page or a paragraph. I mean, there's so many tools out there. You want to start doing circuit speaking or whatever's in your heart, you start it a little bit at a time. That's how I've done it. I wrote for years. And what was it? I carved out a place of time and I started writing. Right? You want to play music, you want to learn an instrument, it's not going to be easy, but you have to take the time to do it. You want to be sober? Take the time. Start doing what sober people do. We're not hiding the secret.
And I love that story of, you know, wanting to get fit and, you know, going out there and maybe approaching it a little reasonably until you get injured. And right, when it comes to the new year and it comes to, you know, getting sober and finding your peace and your happiness, you know, sometimes we set ourselves up for failure, you know. Like I want to be reasonably happy. I don't want to be, you know, frolicking through the daffodils.
Dropping through the tulips.
Right.
Tiny Tim.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be reasonably happy. I want to be reasonably, free, and because freedom has a cost, right? Yes, I mean, there's no free lunch. So I think, you know, incremental growth over a considerable period of time is a more reasonable approach to recovery than, you know, just a spiritual experience on day 12, right? And you're like, I'm good now. That just isn't the case.
Discipline trumps motivation.
Yeah, discipline. I mean, I like the book says, we let God discipline us in the simple way we've just outlined, right? I like that.
Okay, we're going to go on towards the end part right here. The diseases advocate at the end. Questions for the guest. What do you tell your sponsees of people, D? I fall short every year. What's the use? I've tried getting sober 1 million times. I've been to rehab. This is my 10th time? What's the point?
Wow, bro, that's kind of heavy. I don't know. I would tell that guy or girl, I mean, you got to look at your own experience. You know what I mean? It's like you got to get honest with why your life is the way it is, and only you can make that decision. I mean, we have this beautiful program, and we have a bunch of people that have had a psychic change, a vision for recovery. It's worked for me. You know what I mean? I was wanting to kill myself coming out of a blackout and lost everything and was hopeless. And, I ended up in a detox for 7 days, right? Warm water and honey to keep the food down. I was jaundiced. I mean, it's like, but why did that happen for me? Because I surrendered. You know what I mean? I think if you put if you can get honest and say, hey, I have a problem, the help will come. But if you don't get honest with yourself, I mean, I know it seems trite, but at the end of the day, the first step says we're powerless, we're alcohol, our lives are unmanageable. If you can't get to that, right? Even in the beginning, you have Bill Wilson and the first people who were getting sober, they were out of the asylums. Why is that?
Ooh.
If you notice in the first stories in the book, they were all these people who were really like crazy, and they just got honest. The next thing you know, they walked out of the hospital. Imagine that. Imagine that. Yeah. You have to get honest with your situation, and it's found to be true with anything, right? And for me, like Michael was saying, it takes a long time in other areas, right? I can be honest with this sobriety thing, and I've did this for a while. Now there's other areas where it's like, okay, Demetrius, like, I mean, are we getting honest with how you're living right now? Are we getting honest with your progress? I have some areas that I was just telling my brother that you need to start looking at what you're procrastinating on. And I'll tell you guys as my friends and guys I love, there's some procrastination, some areas of mine that I need to start really looking at it and grow up a little, right? And it's again the first step, right? It's like you can have a lot of time and still be unmanageable, right? That doesn't leave, right? You can be like, okay, in this area of my life, there's some unmanageability here, right? And so let me get honest to find out what that is and then try to take care of that, That's what I would be. You know what I mean?
I love how this question went through right here, and then it went into your own self-reflection. Yes. I imagine if somebody was asking you that question, and then we just go off on a tangent about our own stuff.
Yes,
and
right.
They're like, wait a second, what about answer to my question? You answered it well, got honest with it, and then all of a sudden he's on a tangent about himself and how many different ways at year 30 that he can still help himself and still feather in good stuff on the game. Awesome retort there. Yeah, thank you. What about you, Mike? I don't have the money or time to get the support. Yeah. I am broke going into 2026. I spend everything on Christmas. Man, I don't even have the time. I work 3 jobs. I got 2 alimonies. And what do I do, Mike?
Well, it's all about priorities, right? We were talking about giving up earlier. I'm sorry, I'm tagging onto your question because, I mean, the reality is like if you fall down 5, get up 6. If you fall down 6, get up 7. I mean, what is the alternative? As we've talked about, laying down and just going limp forever. I mean,
what is that?
Right? I mean, what is that? Right? That's not anything anybody could do for long. It's almost more painful, right? Than getting up and brushing yourself off and, pushing forward. And as it relates to, having problems in areas that quite frankly, you didn't have areas before.
My area keeps expanding.
I mean, my kid's texting me right now during the podcast, right? It's just like relentlessly. Yeah. And, she's probably got a 911 emergency, like, I can't find my charger. Okay. It's serious stuff, right? And, I've got people depending me on I didn't know that that this life of responsibility, right, was going to be difficult to navigate through. But it's not as difficult as living on an island, right, with Wilson suffering from alcoholism and addiction. So, I mean, things are constantly fluid, and we have to change our priorities for the most part. But there's a time when I went to a meeting instead of done my laundry, right? I had it a little backwards. A more important demonstration needs to be made in our homes, occupations, and affairs.
Right, Mike.
I've made that mistake before and still sometimes do. The reality is that, like, learning through trial and error on what's the priority. Do I need to go home and take a nap? Is that what's best for my recovery right now? Now, most of you, the answer is no. But for me, I tend to overdo things. I do everything alcoholically. I work alcoholically. I do this program alcoholically. And sometimes I got to dial it back. And the funny part about that is that I can't even rely on my own advice about it. I need someone else to be like, hey, why don't you cut back on this and do this a little more? And I'll follow that suggestion, and it'll work out way better than if I just rely on my own.
Well, that was amazing. Great responses to the new skit there. Well, we're out of time. Damn it. We're going to do some shout outs. We hope you like this 2026 Sobriety and the New Year podcast. Feather it back anytime you want to reset, you want to go through. You can do podcasts 1 through 10. That's all basic stuff in recovery. We take you through the steps. We're going to be doing some shout outs. We can email us. How about that? At info@f3recovery.org or info@supersoberpodcast.org. We got a website, f3recovery.org. You can reach us there. We're on all platforms. You just type in Super Sober Podcast, smash the subscribe button, share with your friends and family. People out there still struggling and they don't know that this resource, that's why we do this journey of education and information for you guys. And then to shout out to the Detox, the Story of Addiction, the Deadliest Disease that man has ever known. I wrote that series, took it 1 page at a time, one crazy paragraph. It's a first streaming series for recovery. It's never been done. I don't know why. But then you can shout out to Notorious JID riding the dragon out there, jails, institutions, and death, the first mascot of recovery 2026. We're going to say thank you again, Mike and Dee, for always being willing to come on the podcast.
Thanks,
it's
Solomon.
Super helpful. Thank you, Solomon, at the podcast place. You want to go from zero to podcast? Let's go, right, Solomon?
Yeah.
Amen. 2026, keep on keeping on. Thank you for listening to the Super Sober Podcast. Go to our website at f3recovery.org. That's F3Recovery, all one word, .org. We're turning fight, flight, and freeze into free form and flow through practicing the 12 steps and staying accountable to change. Don't forget to keep on keeping on.